Okay, so welcome to my new YouTube channel. This is the first video on this new channel that I've created. I have a current channel in which I do tutorials and reviews and guides to the different art apps, as well as how to paint sort of traditional landscapes. This channel, however, I'm setting up as something a little bit different. So anyone that's already seen my other channel has probably seen some of my videos where I quite like to doodle. And I've always been interested in the surrealists and the kind of process of automatic drawing, in which you just start off a picture without any real preconception where it's going to. And then sometimes through that process, you end up with something really fascinating. So this channel is going to be fundamentally about more creative pursuits rather than how to do technical things like landscapes, or I'm not going to give guides on how to use particular apps on this channel. It's purely going to be about more creative things. So the format that I'm imagining for this channel is that I'll produce a video just like this, maybe every couple of weeks, depending on the response I get to the initial drawing that I'm going to create. And then I'm going to make the file available for anyone who wishes to download it. And then I'm going to ask you to do, as my subscribers and my viewers, is to interpret the doodle, actually add colours, add texture, maybe change elements of it and see what you can come up with. So it's a collaborative piece of work really. So I start with a sketch, then you take that file and then you run with it and turn it into the kind of finished piece that you imagine that it needs to be. I've no idea where this is going already, and sometimes that really results in fantastic things. Other times it can just end up with something you don't really like very much at all, but I'm really fascinated by the process. So I'm hoping that after a few of these, we start to build up a good community here on the channel of people wanting to get involved, contributing, and every time I get artwork from people, I'm going to showcase the artwork that people have done. So it's not just a one-way street. I want people to take whatever I've provided as a sketch, like I say, add colours, add more shapes, add textures, add settings, and send me the results of what you managed to come up with. And then on a follow-up video, I will be showcasing what you as my subscribers and fellow artists have managed to do yourself. So I'm hoping that we can sort of learn together, grow our imagination, and I'd love to show off anything that you've managed to come up with as a result of working with my sketches as well. I mean, ideally, there'll be things that come out of this process. So for example, if I produce a sketch like this and somebody then takes it up and starts to add some different textures to it, some different kind of settings, it may well inspire an actual tutorial for my other main channel. I imagine that the particular style and the format that I'm making for this channel is going to be a bit more niche. I'm happy with that. I just didn't really want to mix the two channels up together, because what I found was that some people were subscribing because they just wanted the traditional images and traditional tutorials, and other people were more interested in the very creative side of things. So it would be really nice if somebody takes this sketch and can do something with it, and then hopefully we'll have dialogue. I'll be able to showcase what they've managed to do in a follow-up video, but I'll also be able to get feedback from other subscribers. So if your artwork is showcased, then other people can see it, they can comment about it in the comment section, and we can really create a bit of a community on this new channel. So what I'll probably do on most of these sketches is maybe have areas where it's more kind of crystallized, more refined, and then have other areas where it trails off. I don't quite specify exact shapes, and then it gives other people a bit more freedom to extend, to really elaborate on some of those areas. Now, fundamentally, the kind of things that I'm going to produce are pretty abstract like this. So they may have a sense of lighting, they may seem to represent a kind of 3D shape, but fundamentally they're going to be pretty abstract. They're not going to represent anything concrete. They may resemble some kind of elemental things and textural things, but I'm not really aiming for the representation of anything that's from the real world. But that's not to say that people couldn't apply textures of real things they've encountered. You might put it in a setting that's more traditional. I want to see what people can come up with. So if people take my sketch and there's certain areas that they love and other areas that they're like, not so keen on that part, then I've absolutely no problem with sections being used, bits being erased or deleted. That's absolutely fine. It's your choice. Obviously, I mean, the purpose is to take it and do something with it so it's kind of recognizable from the original sketch. But I do appreciate that sometimes things go off at tangents and actually you just want to get rid of one bit and then it's going to make the image work better. That's the way I work with sketches, so that's the way I would expect people to work with any sketch that I provide them as well. Obviously I'm using an iPad Pro, an Apple Pencil, the third generation Apple iPad Pro and the second generation Apple Pencil. But it doesn't really matter what format you're using yourself. You might be using an iPad, you might be using a Microsoft Surface tablet, you could be working on a desktop. It doesn't really matter to me. That's not the purpose. These just happen to be the tools that I use myself. It may be that you prefer to print them out and work traditionally. That's not really something that I'm too concerned about. It's certainly not exclusive to digital art or iPad art. But as long as you can send me a decent copy of it, an image of it, then I will be happy to show other viewers what you've managed to come up with. And if you have a channel yourself, I'll be happy to create links to your channel as well. Now, if I become inundated, not that I'm expecting to be, then I may well be selective. I may not show every single one. I'm going to show the ones that I think are the most interesting or the best. I mean, to begin with, I may well be showing all of them because I don't imagine I'm going to get hundreds of them to begin with. If I get a handful, then I'll be delighted in this first video. Okay, so I'm going to leave this sketch at this point for now. I could really go to town and get into incredible detail, and I may well do that at certain points, but I wanted to leave this particular first sketch really quite loose, quite open to interpretation. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to make this available as a Procreate file on my Patreon page. Now, you don't have to support me at all. It's going to be available there for download for free for anyone who just visits it. You don't have to become a patron in order to download this particular image. So I'll make it available as a Procreate file, a PSD file, Photoshop file, as well as a JPEG. So I'm going to make all three available to anyone who wants to manipulate, to edit it, to add their own kind of stamp on it. Send me the results. You can message me on Patreon or message me here, and I will send you my email so you can get a copy across to me, and I will showcase it. And then next time you tune in, hopefully you'll be one of the artists that is shown in that next follow-up video, and then I'll start the process again in that video as well. So whilst I'm producing another sketch in the next video, I'll be sort of putting other people's responses to this midway through the video or various points through the video. I hope this is something that's going to really interest you and excite you. I hope you want to get involved. I'm really excited by the prospect of working this way and collaborating with people. So please show your support, please get involved. Let's see what we can build here together. See you soon.